Hey, it's Patrick, and let's talk about the Kodlin Super Fat Flow Bars for your Harley-Davidson Road Glide. Now, before we get into fitment, I'm going to say right up front, we're going to talk about these fitting other things. But first, how much do they cost? $550, no matter what flavor. And those flavors come in different sizes and different finishes. We have a black one, we have a chrome one. This one here is 12.5 inches tall. This one here is 15 inches tall. And it actually comes in a 17-inch version. But the fitment caveats, that comes from this clamping area down here. This is 1.25 inches. So if you have a late model Road Glide, these should fit right up, 15 and later. If you want to put these on another bike, this 1.25 inch clamping area, that problem can be overcome by swapping out your risers. So you couldn't put these on a Batwing bike like a Street Glide or an Electric Glide, but pretty much everything else, basically, if you swapped out to an 1.25 inch riser, if you really want to run these bars, you could run these. The reason they call these the Super Fat, though, is because of this here is 1.5 inches, getting that really, really fat look. These bars are made out of steel, so that big old piece of tubing is going to have 0 flex in it, which is nice when you get up into those taller size bars like the 15 and the 17. No worries about your controls, though. Right out here, this is a 1-inch clamping area. So your stock control is going to bolt right up to that with no issue. It is cut out on the bottom, underneath here, to run your wires internally, and down here for your wires to drop out the bottom. If you are worried about your stock cables fitting, that's always a really valid concern, and we have a video on how to measure for that without having these bars in your hand. Once you get them, you want to install them. Like I mentioned, putting the wires on the inside, it can be a little bit tedious, but it's a much, much cleaner install than having the wires around the outside. We have that video as well also, so you can go in there and check that out and see how to put those wires in there. It's not quite as hard as you think. There's a couple different bars out there with this same kind of styling, with this kind of flat pointed bit here on the top. Kodlin sets themselves apart a little bit with this little bit of bracing here, which again is going to add a little more rigidity to the bar, but mainly it's an aesthetic choice, which I kind of like. All the bars have about 7.5 inch pullback, so you're not getting your shoulders really stretched out there. You get this nice look here. It actually looks kind of narrow. We have a nice 7.5 inch pullback. It's a pretty comfy setup. Like I said, depending on what bike you have, you may or may not be able to use your stock cables, but this is going to fit a wide range of bikes. Even though they claim this is for a Road Glide, I understand why they do that. It'll actually fit quite a few more things. If you're looking for more information, go ahead and click on the info tab on your desktop or mobile device. It's going to take you to the product detail page where you can read other riders' reviews and more specs about these handlebars. If you're still looking for more information, feel free to reach out to our customer service team. They would love to talk to you about what works best for you, your motorcycle, and your budget. I am Patrick. Thank you for watching. Now go work on those motorcycles.